told me you're 26. Because if you get on, you're going to
not
be
getting
on
off.
there for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a long ride. Trying to dissect what we have going on. Good news, bad news, same news.
Same news.
Yeah.
The hurricane warning is just another step in this, and we've talked about this over the past several years that we've gone through this. This was
expected.
not the first.
Yeah.
This is absolutely expected. This is on the timeline. Okay, the hurricane warning is issued when we're within that window. We're now in that window. That also does include an upgrade to the storm surge watch. Is now a storm surge warning. And remember, the reason we evacuate coastlines is to run from water. You run from water, you shelter and hide from wind. That's the thing that you have to remember here, and that's why that storm surge warning messaging is so key, because we're talking the possibility in a reasonable worst case scenario of 4 to 7 feet of inundation along the low-lying areas of our coast. Let's show you what's going on right now. The latest satellite image, the storm has still been sitting here over the same general area for the past 2 or 3 days. That's pulling a lot of cooler water up from the depths of the Atlantic, which is allowing the storm to lose some of its energy. That is fantastic news. I would much rather be looking at a weaker storm traveling north than a stronger storm. You can see the very large eye here on Storm Team 2 live radar. You can watch that expand over the past hour or two. And that's what happens as these storms begin to lift north. They start to grow in size. It's now moving to the northwest at 2 miles per hour. That is some progress compared to where we've been over the past 24 hours. Max winds are down to 110. Pressure is still fairly low. For a Category 2 hurricane, 955 millibars is very low. So that lets you know the core of this storm is intact. What happens as it moves farther to the north? Does it try to pull itself together again, or does it hold steady state? The National Hurricane Center is going with a steady state. It might try to intensify just a little bit, but it probably won't do much. It's something we're going to keep an eye on. It's moving through very warm water. This path takes it right up through the Gulf Stream. You'll also notice the cone is still here in the low country, meaning the center of the storm could be anywhere in that during the day Thursday. So we have to keep that in mind. A little bit closer to the coast, higher impacts. A little bit farther out to sea, we will see lower impacts. At this point, enhanced threat of storm surge and flooding rainfall. Those are our two main concerns as far as direct impacts that could impact a large area. Wind damage and elevated risk, more like in the form of scattered tree and power outage, scattered tree damage and power outages, but it won't be anything widespread, most likely based off of what we're seeing right now. There will also be an isolated threat for tornadoes beginning tomorrow night and continuing into the day on Thursday. Beach erosion, that's all the way to the top of the scale. Big time surf rolling in, rip currents in there as well. We're going to have some problems on the beaches. Let's look at the latest probabilities of tropical storm force winds with our brand new advisory. And you can see those continue going up. We have now 70+% chances of tropical storm force winds all the way back to Somerville and Moncks Corner, nearing that in Kingstree and in Walterboro. Near 90% now from the Charleston metro out toward the coast. This pretty much means that we will see something in the form of tropical storm force winds across the area as we move into the Wednesday night time frame into the day on Thursday. Hurricane force wind probabilities have come up as well. Murrells Inlet near 40%, Sullivan's Island, Folly Beach in the 30 to 35% range. That's why we've taken into account that threat for hurricane force wind gusts. Let's go through the timeline here with our high resolution forecast model. Isolated showers during the day tomorrow, but as we move into tomorrow night, especially after dark and after midnight, heavier rain will begin to move in, and this is when we could see isolated tornadoes and the potential for some flooding start to develop late tomorrow night into the day Thursday as the storm moves up the coast. The high-resolution European computer model virtually unchanged, showing the closest approach during the middle part of the day, about 50 to 75 miles off the coast of Charleston Harbor, and then moving north up toward North Carolina by late in the day and into Friday morning. Notice all that heavy rain that is going to be right on top of the coastal communities through much of the day Thursday. Ariel, that's why we're still watching for the potential of significant flooding when you pair the elevated tides with the heavy rain. Do they connect, We don't know that just yet. It's all about the timing and the angle of approach. But we have some problems out on our beaches.